Which pair of forces acting concurrently on an object will produce the resultant of greatest magnitude? Okay, so the easiest way to solve this question is actually just by inspection. Let's just go through and logically think about the resultant vector of each one of these and see which one we think might be the greatest. So for number 1 here, we're going to have 6 newtons in the east, and then we're going to add the 4 newtons to the south. Right? Our resultant will then look something like this. And we can actually calculate that resultant if we wanted, but for now let's just draw everything out. For number 2 here, we have 4 newtons to the east, and then 6 newtons to the west. And I'm drawing it like this just because it's easier to visualize. And that's just going to leave us with 2 newtons to the west, right? So that one's definitely ruled out. It's tiny. Next, we have another one that has vectors traveling in opposite directions. So we have 4 newtons this way, and then we have 6 newtons kind of southeast. And so our resultant vector is going to be just like that. And again, with this one, this easternly component that it has here going in this direction is going to counteract the west vector here. So they're working against each other. So that's going to be a small resultant. And then finally, we have number 4. And that's going to be 4 newtons in the northerly direction. And then 6 more newtons in the northwest. And this resultant, as we can see, is going to be very large. So when looking at these, we can tell that this vector right here, the resultant is going to be larger, because not only do we have 2 components here that don't work against each other, but in fact they're additive, because this has a northerly component to it that's going to add to this northerly component on top of that westernly component, right? Here we only have 2 separate directions. We have an X and a Y component, basically, right? So we'll still get a large resultant, much larger than these 2, but this one we have basically 2 additive properties, or vectors rather, on top of that westernly vector, and this is going to give us the largest resultant. Okay, so that's all for this one. I hope that helps. Thank you.